Okay, let's just dive right in. We're going to talk about managing your energy, but not in some boring corporate spreadsheet kind of way. No, this is for you if you're one of those people who just gives and gives and gives until there's absolutely nothing left. We are going to look at a way to stop bleeding yourself dry and finally start living from a place of real fullness. Does this sound familiar at all? You know that feeling, right? Of being totally crispy around the edges. You're irritable, you're exhausted, and even the smallest little thing feels like a monumental task. It's a feeling so many of us know, but we just kind of accept it as normal. Well, I'm here to tell you it's not. And this just nails it, doesn't it? When you get so overwhelmed that the only solution your brain can cook up is to literally run for the hills. Just abandon civilization and go live in a cabin with zero Wi-Fi. It's a funny image, for sure, but it points to that very real feeling of just wanting to escape a life that's completely draining you. So, this feeling, it's not random. It's actually a pattern, a cycle that we can call the burnout trap. Let's break down the specific behaviors that lead us right into it. Because, recognizing the trap is always the first step to getting out of it. You see how these things are all connected? They create this vicious cycle. You start with the people-pleasing, which leads you to overgiving because you're desperately trying to prove you're valuable. And that, of course, means saying yes to stuff you absolutely do not have the energy for, all because you're chasing that tiny little hit of external validation. It's a loop that just leaves you feeling completely hollowed out. And here we have it, the perfect, real-world example of this whole thing in action. It's hilarious, but it's also so painfully relatable, right? It's that moment when you look at what you're doing and you realize you are spending your precious energy on something that isn't even your responsibility just because it feels easier than setting a boundary. That, right there, is the burnout trap in real time. So how in the world do we escape this trap? Well, we can start by using a framework called Gate 40. Now, it's a concept from a system called human design. But listen, don't worry about the name or the jargon, seriously. Just think of it as a really practical lens for understanding and, more importantly, managing your own personal energy. The whole thing really just boils down to one simple question you need to ask yourself. Are you giving from your overflow, from a place of genuine abundance and desire? Or are you giving from your core reserves, basically bleeding your life force away just to please someone else or prove your worth? That's it. That's the whole diagnostic. And Gate 40 makes this critical distinction that is just so important to get. Being alone to recharge, that is sacred. It's restorative. It's delicious even. It's how you fill your cup back up. But loneliness, that's totally different. That's the feeling you get when you've given so much of yourself away that you're actually disconnected from your own source. It's a feeling of being drained because, really, you've abandoned yourself. I just love this metaphor. I mean, think about it. You can't expect to have this beautiful, thriving garden if you never ever water the soil, right? Well, the exact same thing goes for your life. You are the soil. If you don't nourish yourself first, with rest, with boundaries, with little rituals, you'll have absolutely nothing left to give to anyone or anything else. Nothing grows from depletion. Okay, so this brings us to a really fundamental choice that we all face every single day, whether we realize it or not. Are we operating in a high-expression flow state, or are we stuck in a low-expression burnout state? Let's take a look at what that actually means. All right, just look at this comparison. Over here on the left, in flow state, you're giving from a full cup. You feel magnetic, totally juiced up, and you recharge without a single ounce of guilt. Your whole rhythm has space in it. You push, but then you get to glide. Now look at the right. In burnout, you're forcing things, feeling crispy and drained. You're constantly chasing validation, and it's just a relentless, constant push with no rest. The difference is literally night and day. So seeing that stark difference, the choice is pretty clear, isn't it? And the good news, the really good news, is you can absolutely shift from that burnout state to a flow state. It all starts with a super simple, actionable plan to reclaim your energy. Here it is. It's not complicated, I promise. Step 1, figure out what's draining you and slash it. Be ruthless. Step 2, cancel the plans you only said yes to out of obligation. Yes, you have permission to do that. And step 3, this is the most important part. Replace that empty space not with more obligations, but with a ritual that actually fuels you. And look, a ritual doesn't have to be some elaborate, complicated ceremony. The real power here is in how simple these ideas are. A walk, a guilt-free nap, a quiet moment with a cup of tea. These are small, totally achievable acts of self-nourishment that refill your energy tank and remind your entire nervous system that it is safe to rest. This is the mindset shift right here. You wouldn't just leave a Prada bag lying around for anyone to grab, would you? Of course not. Well, your energy is infinitely more valuable than that. It is a luxury good. It's your most precious resource. You have to start protecting it with that exact same level of intention and care. Okay, let's really bring this all home with the core message of this entire philosophy. Because, understanding this stuff in your head is one thing, but really embodying it, that's what's going to change your life. I want you to hear this next part as a loving command, okay? Your worth is inherent. It is not tied to how much you do for other people. You have nothing to prove. So give yourself permission to stop pouring from a cup that has absolutely nothing left in it. This is the fundamental truth you have to remember. Everything you create, everything you give, everything you do in the world, it all flows directly from you. You're not just managing resources like time or money. You are the primary resource that makes everything else possible. And I want you to think of it this way. Your energy is the true currency of your life. It's what you spend every single day. It's precious and it's finite. And treating it like pure gold is honestly the only thing that makes any sense. And this brings us to the final, most crucial piece. Once you truly, truly accept that you are the resource and your energy is gold, your behavior just naturally starts to change. Self-care and boundaries stop feeling like these selfish indulgences, and they become what they really are, the essential maintenance for a priceless treasure, which is you. So I'm going to leave you with this to think about. Not some vague idea, but one concrete action. What is one small, tangible boundary you can draw in the sand this week? A no you can finally say, a commitment you can cancel, or maybe a moment you can claim just for yourself that sends a loud and clear message to you and to the world that you respect your own energy.